Imagine, invent, inspire. Be a Sparkster. The Sparkster platform is your gateway to building virtually anything you need and can desire. Let's say you're a fitness coach leading a cohort of social fitness fanatics. You organize fitness events like group runs in a central park in the city. You do this to keep yourself motivated and to motivate others in case they fall behind on their fitness goals. For this cohort, you all have the goal to do 10,000 steps a day. Just imagine if you could build an app that communicates with your Fitbit to see if you have done enough steps for the day. If you haven't, it automatically diarizes a park run for you and the gang the next morning, and sends out a tweet to inform anyone else who may like to join. All that without code. Nah, you say, that's impossible. Well, with Sparkster, you can, and all by yourself, and I invite you to try it. So, let's get clicking and create this no-code fitness app for you. The first thing to do is to create the story statement so you can understand the logical sequence of your app. Here it is. When I jog, record my steps from the Fitbit onto the app, and if the number of steps jogged on the day are less than 10,000, then create a calendar event for a 10K park run the following morning, and send out a tweet to invite anyone to join. Right then, let's highlight the key action statements. When I jog, record my steps. If the number of steps jogged on the day are less than 10,000. Create a calendar event. And lastly, send out a tweet. Great. Now let's go to the makerspace and start building the story. So let's go into the Sparkster platform and log in with your credentials and your password. Once you've logged in, you will see the first page that welcomes you with the makerspace, the web factory, and the marketplace. We want to go to the makerspace. And the first thing we will do is, according to our story, drag down the when blob. When what? Well, when we get steps from our Fitbit. So let's select the integration and the connector Fitbit. It automatically asks you, what do you actually want to do with the Fitbit? What part of the data would you like? You want the number of steps. So let's select that. It will then ask you to log into Fitbit with your credentials. And once you're done, it will show you exactly what data you are extracting from Fitbit. So what's the next part of the story? Well, every time we jog a few steps, we want that to be updated into a document within our app. So let's go ahead and create a document. We grab the document blob and drop it into the canvas. Let's name our document My Steps. So what fields would our document need? Now let's imagine, for example, if we're creating an Excel document, the fields would be number of steps completed and the date that they are completed on. There you go, you can go ahead and select the date field. And let's design. The Sparkster platform takes you directly to Web Factory, where you can design the interface of your database. Let's go to Settings and Background and select a nice background for our Fitbit app. You can also edit the background of this particular section by clicking on the Settings button, going to Background, and changing the color. We can change the spacing and the layout. And in addition, we can change the fonts and the text. Let's make this bold. Great! Now all we do is save. That's our document complete, and it will automatically be added to the menu when you click on yes, and automatically take steps from the Fitbit. The Sparkster platform will take you straight back to Makerspace. As soon as you're back in the Makerspace, it will ask you, what do you want to do with this document? Well, the action for this document is to record steps completed each day. When we receive an update from Fitbit each day, create a new record in the My Steps document. So, we're going to go ahead and click on Create a New Record. And there you go. Now it's as simple as kissing the When blob to the My Steps document blob. And now you can start to see the story shaping together. Whenever I complete steps on my Fitbit, update the My Steps document. So, here we just have to make sure that the fields match each other in terms of input and output. So, where the number of steps completed on the Fitbit are the number of steps on the document. And similarly, where the date and time on the document is the same as the date on the Fitbit. This makes sure the data comes through seamlessly. The record ID block is there to map the records on the My Steps document to specific numeric IDs. Since we do not have this in our document, we can disable it. Let's go back to the story. The next step is, if the number of steps jogged on the day are less than 10,000, then create a calendar event. For this, we need the if blob. Let's go ahead and grab that and drop it into the canvas. Let's go ahead and kiss the document with the if blob. So if the number of steps are less than 10,000, then we want to create a calendar event. Great! Now let's get the calendar connector from the integration panel. Let's just drop it into the canvas. The Sparkster platform automatically asks you, what do you want to do with the Google Calendar? Well, we want to create a new calendar event. So let's go ahead and click that. The Sparkster platform automatically prompts you to log into your Google Calendar. And now the magical part, where you kiss the if blob with the calendar, completing the equation. And it automatically pops up with the calendar event. All you have to do is put in your custom value for all the fields to create your event in the calendar. Delete these little Lego blocks and insert the My Value block and type in plain English. We can have our park run start at 6:30 in the morning. And we can save this parkrun event in the calendar as my 10,000 step morning challenge. Now let's go back and program the if blob. If we select the settings button on the if blob, you can clearly see in plain English how the logic is set out. Just select the drop-down menu to create your rule. So if the number of steps completed is less than, and here, as you can guess, it's going to be a custom numeric block. So let's just grab that from the side and type in 10,000. The Sparkster platform will automatically call the rest of the story flow if we have done less than 10,000 steps. The next step is to send out a tweet so that anyone can join our park run. Let's go ahead and grab Twitter from the integration panel and connect it onto the story flow on the canvas. As you can see, when you drop Twitter, it automatically asks you, what do you want to do? Send a tweet. Once you've selected that, it's a case of simply signing into Twitter with your credentials. And then you've guessed it, it's simply kissing the Google Calendar with the Twitter blob. And it asks you, what do you want to write on your tweet? Just grab a custom value block and start writing. Here I've put, join the 10K steps challenge tomorrow at dawn at Hyde Park. And there you have it. Just look at that. It's a beautiful story flow of a very complex app that would take a lot of time to code. But you've created it just by drag and drop. Now let's create a name for your app. Let's call it the Fitness Challenge. And click Save. Now let's see how it works. If I go to my Google Calendar, I can see just right there, 6:30 in the morning, as we programmed it in the blocks, the 10K Steps Challenge. And if you go on the Sparkster Twitter account, you can see just right there the tweet showing exactly what we had written in that block. And that is it. You've basically created an app from scratch using Fitbit, Google Calendar, and Twitter. Congratulations!